behind me is yellowing. My friend Cindy told me, because this is my first time with asparagus, that this is the time to start to cut it down at ground level, compost and mulch it. So I'll be doing that today. I hadn't really intended in having asparagus in the raised beds, but one of those impulse garden shop tours we went on, and there was asparagus, and we bought it thinking that we'd be able to get it into the row beds. And the row beds just took a little bit longer, and I was afraid I was going to lose the asparagus, so I popped them into the raised beds. They're doing well. I'm giving serious consideration as we're widening the row beds next year of moving them. I would like my asparagus, my potatoes, my pumpkins and squash to be at the very end of the garden so they can wander and go wherever they want to go instead of wandering around within the garden perimeter and maybe choking some things off. Horseradish will go out there too. So today I'll be cutting these down, composting and mulching, and then coming in and cleaning out the rest of the beds. I planted some sage a friend gave me, which is very exciting. You can kind of see it covered over there under the plastic. I wanted it to take before I cut it down. I felt that a little bit too much of an attack on it would shock it too much. So I'm hoping I can get it to take before it gets way too cold, and then I can cut it down and have it ready for next year. The thinner raised beds that we made are cute, but not as versatile as I had thought they would be. So we're only going to have those two thinner raised beds, probably for carrots and radishes, I think. And I did put some Egyptian walking onions in this bed over here because we are green onion fanatics along with our garlic. Can't get enough, and I am really excited to show you guys next year how those Egyptian walking onions do, and they're supposed to be easily transplantable, and I'm kind of hoping eventually I could sell some shoots, stalks, seeds, what have you from those. More arches to come. I love these garden arches, and because next year I want to plant 6 pickling cucumbers instead of 2, I want more arches. So more arches to come next year, more cattle panels for tomato plants. Oh, Mr. Blue Jeans and I have been out here plotting and planning. Of course, the plate grows bigger and heavier. You know how that goes. But for right now, I'm going to take care of the asparagus, get the beds cleaned up, and continue on with the fall transition and learning more and more as we go along here how to garden. Oh, and harvest some broccoli? If you insist. Yum! And did we talk about the oregano? Oh my goodness, this was from last year and I just let it go. And it just came up like a plant with a plan. I didn't know quite what it was. I thought it was just a vigorous weed. I let it go out of curiosity because I don't pull up what I don't know or recognize. And by the smell of it, once it got big enough, I knew it was oregano. So we're gonna see what it does this winter. Well, I just grabbed some Danvers carrots that were in this little skinny planter right here. That was a wonderful thing to do. I think they look adorable. I cannot wait to dig into them. And I don't ever waste carrot tops or radish tops. These are delicious. You just cook them like a pesto. Whir them up in the food processor. I usually add pecans because those are my favorite nuts. You could add walnuts. You could not add nuts if you don't want to. Olive oil and some garlic. It's delicious. As a matter of fact, I made a radish pesto with the radishes we grew, and I will tell you, as crazy as it sounds, it kind of tasted like guacamole, something I adore, being a California native, and I'm not really probably going to be able to grow here in Tennessee. I don't see an avocado tree in my future, although if we have a greenhouse I'd like to try, but it's such a slow growing tree that would be far, far on my future list. But I thought it was pretty cool to get these out of the garden right now. There's a few more there that I may run as a test, leave them, and try to see if I can pick them during the winter. If what I hear is true, by leaving some of your root vegetables in the garden during winter, it keeps them like a root cellar would. So I'm gonna give that a try too. I don't mind forfeiting a couple of carrots to do a little test, but I wanted to share my carrots with you.